And we are back for the Call of Duty World League. How's it going, guys? I hope you are doing well. On the other side of the lens, for me, though, Alex Machine Richardson and Phil Momo Whitfield, we've got our 2 more games to go. 3 pretty surprising results already under our belt. I say surprising, perhaps that third one less of a surprise than the initial 2. But if you did just miss it, we did just catch TCM taking just the 1 map away from their opponents, Epsilon. In our previous Best of 5 series. Our game coming up, though, Splyce VS Infused, promises to be a good one. It was before we'd seen any of the games kind of match to watch. However, after seeing LDLC Best Vitality, Giants beat XL, I really don't think it can live up to the hype. But we'll see. Splyce VS Infused, the Brits going up against the slightly lesser known, the rising to power Brits. Of course, Splyce, the organization formed for this World League.
Yeah, formed for this World League. A lot of roster changes already. You know, the complete opposite Infused. Infused has got the team chemistry. They've been in the long run. I think teaming now for 6 months, which is great to see.
That's a long time in COD esports.
Yes, it is. But, you know, with the COD World League, I can see them going the whole distance. You know, in 6 months' time, I can see them myself saying they've been teaming for 12 months now.
Yeah.
They really seem like a solid roster, but the Battle of the Brits coming up, it's going to be hard to kind of almost beat the previous games we've seen, but definitely has the capabilities to do so. Yeah,
it does. It's got some individuals that have always kind of displayed their best so far in the league. Of course, the current balance of as it stands is that Infused are sitting at 2-0. They want to go ahead and join Epsilon at the top with that 3-0. They want to get that really solid start, and you know what's going to happen tomorrow is they're going to have to defend that once more, and I do love this. This is the storyline you're going to have to keep your eyes on. Who's going to, you know, take that loss first away from Epsilon? Who's going to take that loss first away from Infused?
And you would be saying the same about Millennium, but Millennium, they lost first week, first day. Right? It was crazy. So for me, I can see Infused joining Epsilon as my predictions as I'm venturing this new world. But Infused, I can see them joining Epsilon at 3-0. I've obviously been focused on this game. Tomorrow will be a different story. Be interesting when Infused hit Epsilon if they're still at the top undefeated.
Yeah.
Now that would be a game.
That certainly would be one to watch. But I mean, you said already roster swaps have gone on. Let's kind of go through how the current Splyce roster stands.
Yes.
Of course, as previously we saw names like Reedy present, as he's now moved. We've just seen him in fact perform under the Epsilon name.
Yeah, and going straight into it, that Splyce roster, Hawkeye, Josh, Bantam, Vortex, some would argue they've got weaker. However, speaking to Josh, Josh actually said they think they're stronger now. They've got more chemistry in game. Can they take on the mighty Red Army that is Infused? What is going on here? We've seen nothing but weapons taken away. M8, Vesper, MR6, and Man of War. I'm sorry, Urban, but you're not using your pistol, says Josh.
Yeah, and for the first time today, and the first time in a while, we are going to be seeing Overclock going to be removed by Bance. He's not interested in seeing any kind of quicker score streaks come into play. And I mean, maybe he's kind of done his research and realizes that Infused are a team that do favor the kind of quick score streak plays, especially on hardpoint.
Okay, and High Caliber taken away, Man of War as well. And then for me, we're going to see the Rapid Fire maybe taken away. And I mean, Zero, I'm trying to think what Zero may ban away from the boys of Splyce. Maybe another SMG. It wouldn't surprise me if Zero takes away something like VMP. Oh, Ops for the HCXD. Obviously not a fan of that. But for me now, what guns are we going to be seeing? M8's taken away.
Okay.
Vesper's taken away.
Man of War's gone.
Yeah.
What was the other one more weapon? Can you remember?
It was pistol.
Okay.
MR6, obviously, for Urban, that's a target ban.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess what we're going to be seeing is most likely to assume a lot of your kind of your HVKs, maybe even a Shiva coming out. That always seems like an interesting one. Like, it does feel like on the European side of things, we don't see as much of the Shiva as we do across the pond.
Yeah, either side, you know, we're seeing, you know, the Australians and the Americans really using that and loving it, to be honest, you know, really raining fire down on the opposing team when using it. But Urban sticking to the Tempest. He's very much a Tempest player like Madcat. Marky B opting for the Scythe as well, very familiar with him. PT and the Kinetic Armor, that breaking hills with Zero, that'll be the Heat Wave as well. That is your Infused roster. Of course, on the flip side is Splyce.
Yeah, so for the Splyce boys, we have Hawkeye on Kinetic Armor. Josh going to be purifying the nation with his fire break pickup. Bance is going to be on Scythe, and Vortex again. 2 fire breaks on one side. I'm going to be seeing Heatwave and Purifier. It's nice to see Purifier back. It's been actually quite contested and banned away in Hardpoint as of late. So good to see Josh kind of watching that one slip the net and immediately snapping that one up. And it's good as well to see a little bit of variation on either side of things. There's kind of only one similarity across the board. You're going to be seeing Kinetic Armor and you're going to be seeing Heatwave. The other two, Scythe and Tempest for Infused, are going to be going up against the surprising picks of Kinetic Armor. Excuse me, of I just messed it up. I have it's just the one.
Kinetic Armor either side.
It's just the Purifier,
Purifier's
and the Tempest.
Yeah, I mean,
excuse me.
Very easily done. However, I love the fact Splyce logo yellow. They'll be on the yellow side. Red Infused.
It's perfect.
Dubbed as the Red Army. I like it.
Match made in heaven.
But for me, wants to watch Bance versus Marky B, Scythe versus Scythe, but more importantly, Assault Rifle player versus Assault Rifle player. They're the ones anchoring, you know, almost kind of rotating a little bit earlier, getting those plays. Whereas, you know, your Peters and your Zeros, your Joshes and your Hawkies, they're kind of be just jumping in, making crazy manic plays. But the more calmer, reserved players, Bance versus Marky B, they're my key players to watch.
I think you're right. I think it's intriguing when you do see this trend between Assault Rifle and Scythe play.
Yeah. It's always the case, you know. It's the one where it'd be comfortable in saying going through your team. It'd be like Marky B, it'd be Bance, Swanee, Broken.
Yeah.
Very, very much the same. And it makes sense. You know, you're very static. You're not moving too much, and you can just basically create a line across the map when nobody can cross because you're firing about 3,000 bullets a second. But Stronghold hard points the map. We've seen it already 3 times today. But 250 points on the score limit, 5 minutes on the clock, and no respawn at all. Obviously, a snowy map, a bit different from the fringes and I'm gonna say the Cairo then, because the rooftop Cairos are breached.
Of Cairo.
But obviously bringing the different scenery into play. I was never a fan of the snow maps, but I'm a big fan of Stronghold.
Yeah, no, me too. I mean, I love how you can go from this into something like evac and just go from like one to the other, like quite literally the sun's shining, and then all of a sudden you're in the winter wonderland. Let's see though for who it shall be the wonderland as we're going into our first half then of our first map here in this best of 5 series, and it's going to be a quick case of who can seize early control. Did I just see a Shiva? I think I did. I think Josh is the one wielding it. You can hear it kind of rattling off in a distance as he does find Urban. He's gone. Josh has found 2 already, finally traded out by 0. As we're going to be seeing Urban creep and crawl behind him. MR6 was taken away, but he's still wielding the RK5 and has still got a lot of faith in the sidearm.
Yeah, definitely a pistol fan is Urban. Let's go on board with Splyce. They seem to start off a little hotter in the slaying department. Vortex, obviously this newer member. 11 bullets in the chamber. Unlucky. Thought he needed to reload, but Bance and Josh, they're the Assault Rifle players at the moment. They're the ones which are really raining fire down on Infused. They're the ones that are getting the scrap points too here for Splyce. Done off very, very well. Yeah,
Vortex catches a glimpse of someone towards Lab and does get rid of him. Oh my god, he's getting away with it for a while. Urban does manage to get the fist to the jaw of Vortex, but his teammates are backing him up. Hawkey now pockets himself a second with a VMP in his hand. He's going to be relocating straight into Shally. He realizes that, you know, getting control of this one, you don't need to push out. Don't be silly now, Hawkey, because that hardpoint's about to spawn where you were. Okay, pushes out, takes a risk, but takes 2. And that, my friends, is valuable enough, which does, of course, enable his team Splyce to start strong in the second rotation.
Yeah, Hawkey's got this confidence where nothing stops him at all. He'll run into the most absurd places, challenge the most absurd things, and so is PT though. PT is one submachine gun player, which is to be feared by all, also known as the American Kryptonite, but tonight he's facing the British Splyce. 2 kill streak for him. He gets shut down. Oh, and the spawn on that one is a bit of a nasty one. Let's get on board with someone a bit closer.
Yeah, we'll see what Josh can do. He's looking towards rocks. There's 2 player there. He's got the Shiva, but can't quite connect. Of course, the disadvantage of the Shiva is that low fire rate. It's on your fingers, really. As we're going to be seeing what Bance and Hawkey can do. Looks like they're going to be doing enough, as Splyce have completely run away with this one. They've made this hard point their own. They've settled into the chalet. They've got their feet up on the couch, and they're just chilling. 64 and growing as they're going to prepare themselves for this rotation, going from chalet to the hut around that barrels area. I'm going to be seeing if that brawl continues to go the way of Splyce.
Yeah, Urban gets 2 on the rotate, and now Infused are knowing exactly where they're coming from. But Splyce still being so strong in the slaying department. PT has 7 to his name. He's opted for the Cuda as the Vesper's been banned. Kinetic Armor pop didn't go down as Vortex picked up the headshot, as did Josh as well. And we see Splyce again doing really big things here. Josh is coming into his own here on Stronghold Hardpoint.
Yeah, let's not forget, today is Underdog Day. And already Splyce have kind of made a good name for themselves in this hardpoint. It is, of course, just that 3rd rotation. Let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. But it's 80 to 30. It's a 50-point game at this point in time.
Okay, just want to see what Hawk is using. He's using Kinetic Armor, VMP, Afterburner, Fast Hands, Blast Press, Tactical Mass, though. An important one there, so obviously those concussions, EMPs.
They did sneak through, as Hawkeye did manage to take Josh down. Let's see if he can avenge his fallen teammate, as he's going to be hunted down from either side. He goes down, he's going to be kicking himself and being very apologetic, as Infused are going to scoop up a couple of points for themselves before the new fresh point spawns towards Rocks.
Yeah, I want to go on board with Mark. He's 5 and 10 at the moment, make it 6 and 10. He's just been out-anchored in every single way by both Josh and Bance. He's not found his feet yet, but now is the time. There's 45 seconds still left on this hard point. Time to get back in the game. Picking kill after kill. Marky's now on a 5-kill streak. He was on 2 and 10 before this kill streak.
Yeah, and let's see if he can extend it as well. He's hunting down for the 6th. He should very well find it. Does so. Didn't stop Bance taking down his comrade Urban, though, in the process. Another. This is 7. That's a lightning strike. Could he get for 8? He's just 50 points away from the Hellstorm. He is under pressure. He has the RK5. He's playing for the health, and his teammates are doing all the work he needs at this moment in time. Urban and PT coming in with one. I think he just caught a glimpse of someone going on that outside route, and I think he's just going to go hunting for it. He just needs this kill. 2 players there now before he can get his a step closer to those streaks, and it does look like he's just going to have to play the chase at this point in time, as he's creeping and crawling behind, well, essentially 3 members of Splyce.
Yeah, he's actually let them get into the bunker, this is going to be tough, but he's got the lightning strike. This is more kind of recon, if anything. Surely going to take that player off the back. No, he's not.
Oh, PT!
He's going to shut down PT and Vortex as well. One thing for Mark, he's so close to this Cerberus. He doesn't want to break it. He's going to get the Hellstorm. Is he going to get it? No, Bans with the Scythe, answering back. But who's going to take control of the hard point is now head-to-head.
Yeah, I mean, this is the money hill. This is one usually you expect to see held for extended periods of time, but as I say that, you do see Infused having problems maintaining this one. Marky B continuing to find frags. Vortex does the same, though, as he walks on in with his heat wave. Does breach on through. Hawkeye up against PT. Hawkeye and Josh, in fact, making this look very, very easy, as Josh did find the head of PT. Hellstorm is available for Marky, but that's not going to help him in this bunker area, and instead we're just going to be seeing it comes down to Wayne, and he's doing well with the XR2.
Yeah, it just seems like they've not managed to breach it, though, as Splyce extend their lead now. There's 10 seconds left. The rotation will come in, but you're going to see Splyce with this almost 50-point cushion going into the second set of rotations here. Vortex, Josh, Hawkeye and Bance having a great start, especially Josh top fragging with 22 kills. Yeah,
is he still rocking the Shiva as he opted for the XR2? No, he's changed his mind. The Shiva wasn't working for him, and he's been already finding much more influence with this assault rifle. As the Hellstorm does come down, just connects on towards Bance. Marky B finding revenge, Anchor v Anchor. And oh my god, what is that? Tagging him up heavily through the tree. Not going to be enough to get the kill, though. Instead, he's going to be hunted down through Lab. Urban was the mad scientist, I guess, in that scenario, and PT's doing the same with the Cuda.
Yeah, PT 12 and 21. This is unfamiliar territory for him. He's not used to being so negative. He's usually this SMG slaying machine. But today, shut down. Josh obviously picking the pocket of PT. I mean, really, really kind of showing who's boss right now, Josh.
Indeed he is, and you are still being a bit of a kind of mad, waxing lyrical. Look at that from PT with the Cuda. Effective work. Who needs a Vespa when you've got the Cuda in the hands of PT, trying to kind of climb and make those kills more valuable. Every single kill he's picked up in the last couple of seconds, there has been truly influential, as you're going to be seeing him pick up another one here towards bedroom. I would assume. No, there's one towards lab. He's going to have to make his decisions too quickly. 3 of them flood on in. He wasn't ready for that one. The floodgates have been breached, and now we have to see if they can hold strong. There's 45 seconds, and now Splyce still managing to accumulate some points.
Yeah, not heard much from Zero. We praise his name in week 1, but map number 1 here, he's not having the best of starts. One man who is, though, is Vortex, 23 and 19. He's got 44 seconds on the hard point for his team. Kill after kill for him. He's on 3-kill streak, make it 4. He's actually just going around the whole map, just slaying. Heatwave comes in, Kinetic Armor can go away as he makes it 4, but the only man to stop him is Zero. Getting those scrap points. Looking still at the back of this mansion. 30-point game.
Yeah, look at this rotate from Splyce. 3 members about to go straight on in towards the hut area. We should really cut over there and just see what's going on the other side of things. You can see that Urban is the one preparing himself with the RK5. There are so many members of Splyce coming on in. It's going to be Vortex who opens up. Hawkeye again onto Marky B, and Bance has made this absolutely certain. The spawns from Infused are way back in bunker, and this is going to be a solid, what, 10, 15 points going the way of Splyce. If they actually get in on the point, where did they go? They got the kills and then just sprinted off.
Yeah, they were playing for the rotation. I think they thought that Infused were flanking them, but in fact, Infused Infused were all mans down. They were literally in a very tough position, but Urban's got to get them back into it with a double kill himself. And look at that scoreboard machine. It's creeping up. They're going to level things out if it stays like this. 10-point game.
Not sure what Splyce were thinking with that one. They are still filling up the kill feed. Look at that. All good in the hood for them. They need to get these remaining 20 points to regain that lead. Let's not forget, for the majority of the time, they had a 50-point advantage. Now Infused keeps stepping in on towards this hut area and then really making the time that they do have much more valuable. 0 with 3. A flurry of frags for him, as we're going to be seeing Marky B follow in his footsteps, this time with the XR2, dealing with any sort of threat from Splyce. XR2 close quarters, no problem. And Infused look to have taken the lead just for a fraction of a second before Splyce bite back.
Yeah, rotation comes in. PT playing this back hill. He knows that there's someone around. He must have seen him there. As he goes in, gonna be challenged. Bance gets the better of him. Let's see what he's doing at the moment. 26 and 23. Infused for the first time in the game actually getting this lead, and Bance is gonna shut him down with the help of Vortex.
Yeah, and PT can only make just a fraction of an impact with his Kuda. Big play from Urban. Goes high and doesn't go home just yet. Instead, Hawkey and Vortex have to do it for him, as they do. I seem to be the two names constantly filling up that kill feed. Great positioning, though, from Urban, coming up from the real highest echelons to pick up that frag on Hawkey. He's not stopped just there. Going for the run, going for the flank. He's going to come into contact with Josh, which looks a little too painful and does favor Splyce.
Yeah, Splyce have really kind of dominated this hard point. They've made this 10-15 point game, but it's all about their rotation. Look at an Infused, the Red Army setting up here. Who's that player right at the back? He's going to be the 1-2. It's Marky B.
That's what you got. Marky's going to be tested by either side. I don't think he's ready for that one. He didn't even get the first. That's very, very unfortunate for Infused, because that could spell trouble, because here comes the retake. They're pushing for it. Zero pushes out of the bunker. He's not interested in that one, but instead, who is this breaking it? It's usually Hawkey and Josh, and you better believe it's Hawkey and Josh once again. Zero down, bullet to his head, and we do see the Purify come in to try and break this one, but great angle! PT, you hero! Holds the angle perfectly. He had kinetic armor. That could have been even better.
For me, Pete did two things right there. He got the angle, but he just stayed alive in time for them to come in and contest. However, they go down. It looks like Pete is the man to watch. He's still got the kinetic armor. He's going round. He's surely going to pick up that kill with the kinetic armor in his favor. That runs out. Can he do this? Reloads, goes down. They need to fight back. Only 25 seconds. Marky picking up a big double kill, but they find themselves in this 20-point deficit now.
You can't hold it all. You just can't hold it all on this. I mean, I'm putting kind of air quotes, scrap. 20 seconds is just going to go all the way to Splyce. I can't see this contest working for them. Hawkey and Josh are just lining them up and knocking them down. And with 10 seconds left, you can see Vortex has got such a good read on this. He's rotating straight away. He knows it's going to middle, and he knows if he comes around towards hut, he can make the pain really, truly permanent. 25 points away from Splyce picking up the win.
Yeah, Marky B needs to watch more of his middle, because Zero's going to pick up 2. Band's going to answer back, but they're not coming from there. Marky getting an important kill. This is where Infused need every single point. They need someone on the hill, and there's no one at the moment. Splyce actually still getting the points here.
That was not cool. PT tried to change it, but it just still looks like Splyce are doing all of the right steps in all the right directions. The frags, yes, they're going the way of Marky and co. 0-37. He's suddenly appeared on the scoreboard. We mentioned that he was rather absent, but not at this point in time. But Splyce, they're spending time on the hard point. 2 minutes for Bance, the unsung hero so far of this game.
Yeah, and Josh, this new assault rifle player, which we've not seen out of him. Marky B shutting him down. They're actually getting themselves back into it. Infused are not going down without a fight. This is all that we know about Infused. I mean, looking across the board, only Marky B going positive right now. 40 deaths for Urban and Zero. This is something. This is going to go down to the wire. Infused have just taken the lead, Machine.
Yeah, for the first time, or for the first time in a while, that's for certain, as it's going to come down to that chalet play. Who's going to make this house a home? It's going to be seeing as PT does come in with just the one. No, Hawkey turns back around and fixes that one up as Splyce starting to pick up the first 10. In fact, they're closing in now, just 10 points away. And Splyce, they're trying to be challenged out by Urban. He can only do so much, and it's a battle of the pistols at this point. Zero turns up, and now it's Infused's turn to turn this one back around.
Zero's just used the heat wave, and now it's hotting up in here. 241 to 241. He's going to go down to these final kills. I don't know which way he's going to go.
We need to see what Splyce can do. Just Vortex and Josh stand. They need to make a move and make it fast as they're going to turn back on in. And now just a couple of points. Big frags from Marky. That's 2. Those were the 2 members from Splyce on the hard point. 7 away for either side. This is truly chaotic. Who is going to pick this one up? It's in limbo, but Splyce are looking to change it. Josh, no, Urban returns. It is still contested as they are battling forth in this living room. 1 point needed for Splyce, but still contested. contested. That's the one they needed. Vortex responsible. It's 250 to 243.
Yeah, and for me, I think that's justified. Going through the game, the whole game, it just seems to be, you know, Splyce is that one step ahead. Yes, Infused fought back. They got so many points off that middle hill, which are meant to be scrap points. But you saw, I mean, look across the board. There's 4 people over 40 kills. Hawkeye, 46 and 37. And I mean, Vortex 16 defends. There's so many things that I could pull out of that scoreboard that it almost makes them all irrelevant. It's all teamwork. It's all come down to those last points. But for me, it all came down to Splyce getting that back spawn. Infused were breaching in through the middle. We saw Marky just trying to contest. PE trying to contest.
Marky got like such an important 2-piece as well, and he couldn't quite get the third. If he picked up the third, Splyce were on these dead scary spawns. There was just enough, though, in the form of Vortex and Hawkeye to wrap that one up. And I mean, what a game. I mean, that gets your blood pumping. That gets everything kind of flowing. You really are getting the mood set for what could very well be the game of the day. And I say that a little bit more confidence now after seeing just how close and finely cut that was. Splyce picking up the win here as well definitely sets the scene for what could be a full 5-mapper. Infused, of course, having the favor. They're a team that stood together for so long. They have the advantage behind them that you would expect to see more wins go their way. But Splyce, very, very closely cut. Managed to pick that one up. But you know what else is closely cut? Diamonds. Splyce can still do this, and they can do it in a very convincing way.
No words. No words at all. But Splyce surprised us again. You've said it's the underdog day. Could this be? I mean, it's hard to say Splyce is an underdog against anyone.
Yeah.
But when it comes up against maybe Infused, Millennium,
even your Epsilon.
even Epsilon, you'd probably favor them over Splyce. But Splyce have this raw talent. They've got Bance, you know, a very upcoming player who's kind of rose to, you know, this top tier of Call of Duty in the last year. And then they've brought in these 2 substitutes, Hawkeye and Vortex. 2 people, even I'm unfamiliar within the Call of Duty console scene. It's just unheard of. And they've come out of nowhere. They've joined such a prolific organization, great team. Then you see them taking down Infused like that.
Yeah, and I mean, it does feel like... do you not think, and this is just in my opinion, I feel like Splyce look like they've been playing together longer. Like, some of the synergy that they're entry fragging so beautifully with Vortex and Hawkeye constantly. Like, every time they needed to break a hill, Vortex and Hawkeye on either side. Like, they were just coming in, great synergy. I don't know whether that's unspoken synergy. I don't know whether they've been working on that, but it feels like they're tighter than a team that's been together for a few weeks.
Vortex, obviously, previously teamed with Bance. Yeah. And I feel with... Reed is a great player, but with him getting dropped and Dominate sidelined, it basically enabled them to get back the chemistry, if you like. And even though we don't know these players as well, they're all, except for Josh, they're all relatively new into the console Call of Duty scene. And it's just working for them. And I think with Reedy and Dominate gone, maybe people would say those 2 are better than Hawkeye and Vortex. But this team, I believe Josh, when Josh said, we are better now. We're better with this team than we are with big names like Reed
and even if not necessarily with the aim duels, but also when it comes to just confidence. If you sit there and you think, you know what, yes, he may be better, and yes, Dominate is Dominate, and these names that you're going to household names for European COD, but actually we feel more comfortable, we feel like we're better with this. That in your mind, if you're feeling better, you are going to play better, and I stand by that. For them, it doesn't matter what game, it doesn't matter what sport you're playing. If you think you're going to do well, you're probably going to do better than if you come into a game going, yeah, we're going to lose this one.
And with the old roster, it was kind of going into a game where, you know, yeah, we're all great players. Are we all great friends? Maybe not. Coming into this team, though, they all seem to be on the same level. They all seem to be having fun, and they all seem to be working better together. And it seems like even though they're so new, there's chemistry there. There's old teammates rejoining together that are happy to play together. And, of course, coming up against Infused, really showing what they're worth.
Yeah, and don't doubt the kind of... playing together and being friends together aspect of that, because I swear down, you know, people may underestimate and maybe understated just how much of an impact that has. You know, like the atmosphere within your communications, within your practice schedule, all of this stuff comes from wanting to spend time with the other people, right? Yeah. Well, you know, we're getting into the nitty-gritty psychology of having esport teams. But if you're sitting there and you have this problem with a particular individual, are you going to listen to what he says in game? Are you going to hold as much value to what he says in game if you don't necessarily appreciate him as a person? Yeah. That's where these kind of clashes happen, and that's why it's good to see a team which has been together for such a short period of time be able to take it to a team like Infused.
It's exactly the same. It works on both ways. You know, are you going to be able to critique them as much?
Yeah.
You know, are you going to be able to say, look, I think you made the wrong play here? Is that going to cause drama in your team? It all goes down, you know, we talked about the two things people think of, and it's smarts and gun skill. There's all these other things that come into a great team. And when you find it, it's so special. But at the moment, I mean, Infused seem to have it all. But then they come against Splyce and it just didn't work. I mean, it very could have gone easily their favour. And you can't win them all, especially when you're coming up against such teams. But I'd like to see now Splyce find themselves, they found themselves the right roster. I'd like to see them just get better and better. And I think that's what we will see.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, already week 2 starting to put results up against the best. Splyce have already kind of tested a lot of games against, we've seen them beat TCM, now they're going up against Infused. Of course, TCM already taking games, and we just saw in the previous one where they got to make it 3-1 against their adversary Epsilon. So these victories against, the higher tier, I even put TCM in that list just because we have seen them pick up wins. No, we haven't yet. We've seen them pick up map wins. That's what I'm trying to say. But so far, so good for the guys at Splyce. We're going to be seeing if they can push it just a little bit further as we go into Search and Destroy Stronghold as our second in this best of 5. And I mean, for this one, I feel like this is going to be more difficult for Splyce. Hardpoint is something that you can place just kind of off of understanding of one another, and of course it's very much the same rotations every single time. You know, that's something that people can get used to on their own. Coming into this, it's so much team play, so much communication. I feel like Infused's advantage grows in this game time. Infused,
they've done it for longer. It comes down to the simple fact that they've been playing these maps together for longer, they've been doing Search and Destroy for longer, and Splyce haven't. Have Splyce had enough practice in 1 week than Infused have had in 6 months? I mean, yes, the game's not been out. It is not been out. But what I'm trying, Infused have done this for a longer period of time. Will that show in the game, or will this kind of honeymoon period of this team just be too much for Infused? You know, will it just kind of shine through? Will Splyce be coming off such a high right now? It shows in all of the next game modes.
Well, we're going to be finding out very shortly. The players are loaded into the lobby, and we're going to be loading into Stronghold Search and Destroy once those rules are set in stone. Got to make sure we get them right after a couple of problems we had encountered where players and just rushing those rules and cost them valuable wins. So, of course, you've got to keep that in mind.
It's good to see that not happening anymore.
I mean, of course it's not. You can save a rule set, you know? It's definitely possible.
We all do it, but, I mean, let's kick it off with the ban and protects, see which ones are taken away. I'm sure Vesper and Mates. Hawkeye, though. Hawkeye's first on the chopping board. Not the chopping board. You're definitely not getting chopped from this roster anytime soon. But first one's to pick the ban and protects anyway. Takes away the Vesper.
Yeah, now you can see it. Just that there's quite hesitation on the side of Zero, and so intriguing to see the concussion taken so soon. I think that's more of a case of, I don't know what to ban. Do I want to get rid of the M8? They don't know. They're not sure yet. They had it in play last time. We saw just how powerful it can be. And so instead, we have to stop and wait. Josh taking the MR6 away from Urban, and that's no laughing matter. He is truly a very influential player when given that pistol.
The thing is with Urban, like, if you have him on your team, you're basically wasting the opposing team's ban. Like, they have to take that pistol away from him, otherwise he's just going to be lethal with it, literally.
Yeah, and then Overkill going into Search and Destroy. Zero surprises there, as we're going to be seeing Bants not want to see that one, not want to encounter the SMG sniper combos that does make available. High Caliber coming in, and I assume we're going to be seeing that rapid fire shortly following it. Of course, it's going to be down to either Vortex or Marky to remove that one. It does look like it was Vortex who stepped up to the plate.
And now Marky, if Marky bans the M8, I will.
That would be.
I'll eat a hat myself.
You've had to say I'll eat an apple. I would really respect you if you ate an apple. You crazy cat.
I mean, I'm not a fan favorite of apples. I tell a lie. Very nice.
I'm a Granny Smith man myself.
I was gonna say it. You stole the words. I love a good Granny Smith.
Yeah. See, but you know what I'm not a fan of is those like kind of red ones that taste like carpet. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like.
I know red ones. I don't know any red ones that taste like carpet.
What are they called? They've got a name for them.
Let's not go slating apple brands.
Golden Delicious. Those are the ones that taste like apple.
Let's do.
Yeah. I'll do a video on my YouTube of just us eating carpet apples later on. But for now, we have to go ahead and see Infused versus Splyce and see what specialists are being brought on in. It's going to be Zero with the active camo. PT coming into the fray with kinetic armor as we see Urban on Glitch, a Search and Destroy staple. And Mikey B this time taking the heat wave. You know, taking a break from that scythe. We don't feel like he's going to be making too much of an impact in Search and Destroy with that.
Yeah, Psychosis only differs from Glitch either side. Of course, if you aren't familiar with these rosters yet, I'm sure you will be very, very shortly. Infused is Zero, PT, Urban, and Marky, the chemistry team, the team that have stuck it out. They've come from title to title. They know what it takes, and people would class them in that top 2, top 3 tier of Call of Duty in the European scene right now. They're opting for active camo, kinetic armor, glitch, and heatwave.
Yeah, so kinetic armor, of course, manages to evade bullets. But you've seen so many plays already, so many examples where kinetic armor is that separating factor, is the reason that that clutch happens. And the same can be said for something like your active camo for your glitch. That is why we're making these present in Search and Destroy. One life is just so valuable in Search and Destroy, and of course, that's why you see so much survivability in these choices. Psychosis keeps you alive, can also aid you on a push, can be used offensively. Kinetic armor, active camo, these are all can be used in 2 ways, offensive or defensive. And I'm looking forward to seeing just how this one does play out, as it's our 2nd game in our best of 5 series.
Okay, as the guys ready up, the green tick comes around. Zero, PT, Bants, Vortex, all ready to go. Urban joining the club as Hawkey, Josh, and Marky just finalising those classes, making those very little tweaks which you need in Search and Destroy. And it's going to be interesting to see if we see this predominant B push that we have done time and time again, or we're going to see things switch up and go to that A site. But time will tell. We'll get into the game very shortly. See what they choose. Score streaks obviously been changed as well. Shouldn't take too long.
Now, do you know what we didn't see was the H6D band, and I feel like that's actually becoming more common than you would expect in Search and Destroy. People just really like. I mean, but I assume the counter to that is just you pick up Flak Jacket. Like, okay,
yeah.
if H6D isn't banned, you pick up Flak.
Well, it's one of those things as well. If you're so used to using Afterburner or Overclock, to pick up Flak Jacket, you've got to use Perk 1 Greed and Flak Jacket.
Which immediately takes stuff off your weapon.
Yeah, it takes stuff off your weapon, whether it takes attachments or other perks as well. However, Infection, Search, Destroy, first to 6, plant time 5, diffuse time 7.5, simple as that. But the all-important thing, you only have 1 life per round. You've got to be very, very careful. Did we see any sniper bans? Because Zero...
No, sir. We saw Overkill, though.
Right. I mean, Zero's not shy to use a sniper.
He certainly isn't. And there it is. We're going to be seeing the SVG then. I assume the RK5, of course, the MR6 being taken away thanks to Urban. Poor Zero is just kind of has to accept that he's not going to get a chance either. He does go for a very nice wide peek on towards that crossing. It was a little early, in fact. If he'd have done that just a fraction of a second later, he could have come into contact with one. Instead, though, it's going to be Josh who draws first blood. He picks up a quick one on to PT. Zero repositions. He knows that there was a body present just to the right-hand side of that, but that's going to be Josh in middle. Great pickup from Zero. Sit down, son. As it looks like class is in session. He's being hunted, though. RK5 not going to be able to escape as the 2 members from Splyce went on the hunt. Yeah,
Urban and Marky left alive 3v2. I mean, such a good sniper that Zero is. He just found himself in a little bit of spot of trouble. Wasn't able to get away and keep the numbers even as Urban carries the bomb. Looks like very static movement here from Splyce, Hawkey, Bants, and Vortex just set up. We're going to see an exchange from Marky B very, very shortly. Will he spot him?
There's no way you're checking that corner. Absolutely 0 times out of 10 are you going to check that corner, and Hawkey knows it. Nice play with the RK5, and that comes down to a 3v1. 27 seconds left, and Urban knows that he needs to be getting that bomb down if he wants a chance at this one. Does have the bomb in his hands. But there's so many players. I mean, he's just anticipating an overextension from the boys at Splyce, but they're not. They're no fools. They're not going to be going for this one. Looks like he's having a little bit of trouble there, and it's going to be even more trouble now because Vortex picks that one up, and Splyce start as they mean to go on. I feel like the real main problem there was shutting down Zero early. Zero got the first blood, but then they basically went on a hunt, and they found themselves behind enemy lines and in a good place to carry on picking up the kills.
Yeah, I mean, the sniper pick, very entertaining to watch, but he got shut down so quickly after.
That's the problem.
Very, very tough for him. But Splyce, again, very good start. Mr. Vortex, you're 2-0. Let's see what you're doing so well at the moment, using that Psychosis, of course. M8 in hand, going for this...
Such a pretty map, isn't it?
I mean, so many different levels you can get on, you know, these floating rocks.
Look at this angle, though. He's anticipating someone to peek, go aggressive on the Splyce side of things, and, excuse me, on the Infused side of things, and we're going to be seeing if he can do just that. Bants is going to find one with the nade. What? We missed that exchange, but in the meantime, I mean, that's PT gone. And Splyce have the advantage yet again. It was gone with the same start as Infused experienced when they were on the attack. They lost Zero early, and it snowballed out of control from there. Still, 50 seconds, nice and slow.
Yeah, surely we're going to see some exchanges. Bants with the movement here.
I love it so much. He's going to be able to trade that one out. Headshot into Urban. He's anticipating someone up on that higher rock, but really little does he know there's a man just around the corner. Caught, oof, in the air, but not enough. And it's going to be 2v1. Marky B, they know exactly where he is. You caught a glimpse of him, and that's going to stop him from getting the bomb down, you would assume.
Yeah, he's going to go
He's
for
going
the plant,
for the
though.
plant?
If he can pick up the player who's not planting...
What was Bance thinking? Fortunately, Josh can pick it up with the RK5, but Bance, well aware of his opponent right in front of him, still went for the plant. He could have turned, hightailed, and ran straight to the A site and got a safe one, but no, took a risk. Fortunately, Josh, quick on the trigger with the RK5.
Yeah, really good reaction times from Josh there. Actually 2-0 now in the Search and Destroy. Already won map number 1 if you missed it. Only just joining us. But, I mean, Bance and Josh worked well together there. I think they just kind of... They just traded. They traded the
discussion was like, we could just go for the plant, I got you, instead of let's just rotate. Either way, jumping then back into the action, it's going to be Infused, who are on the offensive. They've got to set their targets on A or B. We'll be seeing what decision they make a little later on, as we're going to be seeing some kind of a bit more of a middle play. 3 players all casting their eyes towards it, and it looks like they're actually going to be making a push towards that A site, which poses the question, who's going to get into that power position towards sandbags, towards that B site, which actually has a pretty damn good eye line onto A.
Yeah, Zero's going to see 1. Going to have to trade this with the RK5. He's going to do so. But again, a numbers disadvantage. Infused 2 versus 3.
Yeah, and where's that bomb? It's going to be loose. Marky B goes down. Josh responsible for that one. So much sidearm work so far from both sides. And now it falls to 0. He realizes that he has to come up big. 40 seconds. I mean, time isn't a problem at this point. It is just a case of finding the frags and finding them relatively quickly. 30 seconds. And still no one really giving him that frag.
And I think he's almost kind of giving up on the round. I mean, with 30 seconds, he's going nowhere near the bomb, not trying to get a victory. Vortex falls, and I think, he's just almost playing for his kill streaks here.
Not playing for that HCXD. No, I feel like you could have had a little bit more of a go at it. Maybe he's just trying to take something away from the guys at Splyce instead. Yeah, you're right, 15 seconds. He's absolutely made 0 groundwork, not even going for the bomb. Instead, he's just on the hunt. 10 seconds, and he's just going to go ahead and play for that potential H60 in the next round.
Yeah, no point picking it up now, buddy. You're not going to plant it in 2.5 seconds. But as he floats over, goes 3-0 down. Infused, not having the best of starts here on the Search and Destroy.
Not at all. I mean, kind of questionable what Zero was going for there. I feel like when you're 2-0 down, you're not really close to anything special in the streaks. You just go for that clutch and you go all in on the clutch. Instead, just kind of fannies around is what you'd say. That's what my grandma would say. And it cost him his life.
Okay, now on the aggressive, Hawkey has spotted 1. He's going to see him, not going to be able to take him down, protected by that rock. Bit of a slow push, no one has traded just yet. 2 pushing through mid-map. Who's this? It's Josh and Bance again. Double teaming up, but no, Zero in the corner. He's going to pick up 1. Bance answers back. Now, could this be Infused first round win for the Search and Destroy?
We're about to find out. I'm looking at what potentially we're going to be seeing through the middle of the side of things. Bance has already made an appearance. He's going to try and do a second as well. Looking for his second here. He catches a glimpse of 1. Look at that back turn. Marky B's gone. Vortex, unfortunately, did have a little slip. And now Hawkey collects a double to end. We'll be seeing that one again. Fear not. A Splyce find 4. Could this series really be going the underdog's way? It's hard to believe. 1 in the air. Shuts him down. Then Bance, I mean, he was on the pressure from the side. There was no way PT was surviving that exchange. No way, Jose. And we sit up 4-0.
Yeah, Infused is just not the same Infused from last week. I don't know what I'm watching, It's just a little bit strange. There's no kind of P rushes or first pick Pete's, he's 0 and 4.
There's no cohesion, I think, is what we're missing.
It seems so different.
It certainly does. Trophy System 2 get thrown out, and they're trying something different. That's a start in the right direction for Infused. But look at this, Joshua Vortex just drawing blood. What was that? The 2 of them holding hands and causing carnage as the entire Infused side drops in a matter of seconds. I think you get to see all 4 kills in the final kill cam. Nut stuff this time from the guys from Splyce.
That just ended so quickly. It was Josh and Vortex. I mean, literally 2 players, 2 kills each. Shutting them down. Are we going to see a 6-0 sweep? For me, I mean, there's not one play that's kind of, PT 0 and 5 for sure. But other than that, I just can't see it.
Yeah, we'll be finding out then. 1 minute, 20 trophy systems are thrown on out, and Infused realize that they're knocking on death's door here. They could very well take a 2-0 deficit to start off this series. That's not what the doctor ordered, that's for certain. And we're going to be seeing then 60 seconds left on the clock. Josh is going to be the one trying to get the bomb down for Splyce. Infused are on the receiving end of this, and let's see just how much they can do. Yeah,
4-4 at the moment. 4 aside, should I say. It's definitely not 4-4. It's 5-0 Splyce, but no one has fallen yet with 40 seconds on the clock. Who's got that HCXD card?
Oh, Well, Vortex doesn't care about that for now because he's got his partner in crime, Josh, with active camo. Zero has found the double, though, and it's another one. This could very well be it. It is. Urban does get the frag, and we are going to be seeing plenty of time for the defuse. Infused are not going down without a fight.
No, I mean, we've talked about the underdog. Is this... I'm not even going to use the word. It begins with C and rhymes with back.
Wow, you're really creative.
Oh, I am. But it's a long way to go, Infused yet. Splyce just needing that one round. Infused 5 back-to-back. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it because it's still possible.
You've just seen one round go Infused away and you're already talking about a comeback. You need to...
I mean, we've got to splice things up a bit, haven't we?
You call your horses. That was good. I'm jealous of that one. But yeah, we're going to dive straight then back into the action. Infused are the ones that have to make the plays now on the attack. Let's see if they can make it a second. I'll start to believe if they pick this one up. I'll start to join the crew. But look at this. Zero's use his active camo to try and gain an advantage. But unfortunately, no one is interested. They're playing it much more passive than before. There is one man in there, but Josh does actually struggle to connect onto Zero. Marky B, in the meantime, kept his teammates safe. And here we go. Hawkeye and Vortex are left to do it all. And they are absent from the side. There's a HCXD in play, and it's on the hunt as well.
He's using it. It is Zero. Oh, he has spotted one.
That's going to be a free kill.
Oh, he's on the side of the map. You can run, but you can't hide. Not from... Oh, yeah, you can hide.
Oh, he's gone. Instead, he's going to go ahead and catch him on the way back. Vortex kicking himself. And now Hawkeye. 1 versus 4. The odds, the timer, everything is against him. And I think he realizes that he's coming up towards the flank. But he knows he's got about 20 seconds to make a play to mean 3, if not 4 frags happen. And instead...
He's just thinking, I'm out of here.
Just like, right, this is not my cup of tea. I'm out. Not feeling it. As he just plummets to his death. The first search and destroy suicide of the Call of Duty World League.
I mean, I don't know if he didn't have his afterburner or something.
I feel like
he was just like, it was like you were like, he's got 4 frags to make, and he went, see ya, I'm off.
Was that deliberate? I need to get a quick phone call to his home phone, quick. But let's go back into the action and see if Splyce can finally finish this one off.
Maybe his controller disconnected or something.
Can you imagine?
Oh my goodness! Here he is. He's back.
Welcome back, Hawkeye. He's probably rolling on the floor laughing. That was it. That was the delay. Oh, okay. Deep breaths. We're back into the action. Splyce just need 4 frags. 4 frags is all they need to pick up this. To pick up this round, but not only that, to go 2-0 up in the series. And Josh has already taken a step in the right direction. No, nay, not a step, a leap, because that was a frag onto Zero, top of the scoreboard for Infused.
Yeah, 7 kills. That's a big, big play. He might have just seen him. I like that hover that he was just using. Big play, because I believe he's balancing the bomb. Yes, he is.
Okay, Splyce really are, as you said, spicing it up, as they're going to be kind of keeping this one under lock and key, turning the tide on Infused in just 35 seconds for them to play for the retake. And hell, what a perfect timing for that kinetic armor. As soon as he sees an exchange, he's popping it. It comes down to Marky B. It most definitely does look like Splyce have done it. Just Marky with it all to do. No chance, no hope. RK5 from Hawkeye makes it happen, and looks like Splyce have gone 2-0 up in the series.
Yep, and that is a 6-2 victory for them. We use the word C with an back. Didn't want to say it. I can now.
I'm proud of you.
I meant come back because wasn't very clear. Yeah, believe it or not. But Infused go 2-0 down in the series. Is that something you were believing I would be saying at the end of map number 2? Infused 0, Splyce 2. Splyce really turning up.
Welcome to Underdog Tuesday. It's a new segment we're running whereby every single game goes the way of the underdog, it seems. So far, so good. Splyce, what on earth is going on in our 4th game of the day?
I mean, it literally the same as all of the others, except for the exception of Epson, of course. But the underdogs, they've had chance to play for a week. They've grinded it out, and you can see that it's paying off. The practice is paying off here. But Splyce, they've come together as a team. You know, this is their first real chance to kind of show what they've got made of themselves, kind of thing. But Infused, they just don't see the same Infused as they did last week.
No, I mean,
they played giant. It was like 15-0 on the uplink and stuff like that. I mean, we've not seen the uplink yet.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what I was about to kind of lead into.
And but obviously we'll see that shortly.
Yeah, and he's just hit the nail on the head. Infused and Uplink were a team to be reckoned with. They got, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was the highest score we've seen so far in the European side of the COD World League. It was, I think, something like, was you say it was 15-0, 16-1?
It was 15-0, ended 16-2.
Okay.
Very just kind of...
Yeah, but I mean, 16 for one game of Uplink is pretty incredible for one team. So we're going to kind of worry about that one now it has come to it. But so far, what we've learned is that Splyce have already started to grow and develop. Yes, Infused haven't brought their A game, but what the World League has already provided for Splyce is a platform to practice and to have a real target to aim for.
Yeah.
Like, why are we practicing? Well, 200,000 a stage. There you go. Now
We'll have 200,000 here, 200,000 there.
Yeah, there's a
COD champs.
ticket to LA if you fancy. Just put the work in, and they already seem like they have.
Yeah, and for me, it's great to see, especially from youngsters like Vortex, Hawkeye, you know, who have not had this experience before. They've never, I mean, no one has been in a league like this before, but no one's had the opportunities given to them just, you know, like Hawkeye. You know, he found himself on Epsilon. He was being thrown left, right, and center. He's now found himself in a solid roster where they can really work on it, work as a team, and progress. And if they can take this victory against Infused, that's not just a win on the league, that's a win against Infused, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and would put them like in such a good position to sit middle of the pack or better for the remaining kind of couple of weeks coming before they meet the Infused again. But something I need to talk about though is the kind of word on the street about Hawkeye. You've made it very clear that he kind of like came a little bit out of nowhere and he was tossed around between all these top organizations. The fun fact is that he was just someone that played like ground out COD. Like he would play so much Call of Duty to the point where he was like, well, I've been playing like 8 hours a day, dude. I'm like absolutely killing it. He really found a passion and then proceeded to all of a sudden be just inundated with invites to the best organizations in COD esports. Like that shows that there is like this potential, this kind of gateway where you two can just like, you can be, you know, Bob from down the road and end up in the COD World League.
Exactly. For me, it's a real kind of opportunity for these guys, but they've earned it. And, you know, Hawkeye, I spoke to Rated from Epsilon. He said, when we dropped Watson, I wanted to give someone new, young, someone who wanted to play, because you've had Watson who's very much the opposite. He gave Hawkeye a chance. Hawkeye, obviously, when he joined, he was like playing 8, 10, 12 hours a day. And then he found himself in a bit of a situation swapping with Reedy, now found himself a new team. But that's not stopped him at all. He's been playing, no matter who's playing with, what he's playing, he's grinding it out, and it's showing in his gameplay. I mean, him and Vortex, for me, are the newer kind of comers. Bance, he's hardly a veteran himself. And Josh, you know, Josh is, to be fair.
Yeah, but isn't it, it's kind of funny that you have these 3 names, and you're sitting there actually thinking, Bance is one of the new, like the lesser new names, if that makes sense. Like he's more of, but he's only turned up since the previous edition of Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's been around a year, if that.
If that, exactly. So like you've got really a whole lot of new blood with Josh kind of turning up. It's like a new look TCM, you know, you've got Shane and that, and then you've got these 3 new names, albeit with a kind of a stronger kind of aim duel winners.
I mean, Splyce now could be what TCM could be in a year for me.
I think that's a good day.
So
that's
TCM
a good
in a year could be what Splyce are. And it just shows because they've got that Josh, that Shane, like for like, but they've got these players that are joining left, right, and centre. Vortex just... Like you said, he's just taking Urban out of the game with that Vortex. He's taking Urban out of the game with banning that MR6.
We got there
Lost
eventually.
for words.
But we're going to be seeing then how this one goes down. I love how they just straight up, like, no Urban, no... They're almost anticipating a protect at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to protect that MR6. We're going to take that away straight away, as it's going to be the M8 versus the Overdrive. Maybe we're going to be seeing something else along that vein. Maybe just Kinetic Armor may join it, but we still have to see Rapid Fire and perhaps the Concussion and Flashes go away as well.
Yeah, we'll be sure to see some tacticals definitely come in. Rapid Fire for sure. And other than that, I don't think what else they could really. That's going to take the numbers up. But no M8, no Vesper. We're going to see the VMP in action once again. And obviously maybe a few different ones. And yeah, so Infused versus Splyce, map number 2. Map number 2. Map number 3. It's gone that quick. Splyce have shut them down. I'm even missing them out myself. But, I mean, do you see this finishing 3-0?
Honestly, I would be very surprised if Infused let this one slip away. But the fact that so far so good for Splyce, like I thought Search and Destroy was, I mean, 95% of the time going Infused away. But already Splyce have proven us wrong, and I'm so happy to be proven wrong. Like I have 0 complaints about the underdogs picking up wins. And I mean, if they could do one better, if they can really make a statement here in the World League, just like, look, Confused, you're going to have to put some work in because we have... That would be incredible. 3-0, if they could pick that up, that would be mind-boggling and would become the game of the day, no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to choose right now for the game of the day because all of them had been so good. We've not seen a 3-0, which was the complete opposite of last week when we saw 4. And I just think back to last week, you know, when you're watching plays like Zero and PT, and you're like, oh, these guys are so good.
Yeah.
And then you watch them today against a different roster, and you think, where's week 1 PT? Where's week 1 Zero? Like,
yeah.
they just don't seem to be the same. And for me, you know, I don't know what's changed, whether Infused are playing bad, whether Splyce are playing good, whether it's a mixture of both. But at the moment, Splyce and their roster won't be complaining at all.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any complaints there. So far, you have to consider that maybe Infused could be suffering that problem of over-practicing. That's another point, just because I remember I was watching Marky B's vlog, and he was just saying that I've been practicing for 4 hours, and I'm going to this, then I'm coming back and I'm practicing some more. So maybe maybe, you know, Infused have been kind of over-practicing, putting too much time into this, so when it does come to game time, you're already exhausted. You put in your A game and it's gone. That's something that you have to be cautious of, and so we're going to be seeing if maybe Infused can calm the nerves a little bit and get back into this one. But so far, so good for Splyce. The roster's for you then one more time. 0 on the Annihilator. He's definitely someone that will be seeing wield that more often than not. Kinetic Armor for PT. Marky on the active camo. That's a surprise to me. We'll be talking about that one a little later. Urban on a Heatwave, and you can talk through Splyce.
Yeah, Splyce. Vortex, obviously, with the active camera. Active camera's so good on uplink, I think it can't be wasted. Marky B opting not to choose the side, like Bance, is obviously a big call. But, of course, Josh, Hawkey, and Bance making up the other 3 players from Splyce there, rocking Heatwave, Kinetic Armor, and Scythe.
Yeah, so for the first time in a long time, we're seeing Marky not take Scythe and instead opt the active camo. Maybe, just maybe, he's one of those players that's putting the time for the lineups and stuff like that, and so instead, on uplink, he's going to be the one playing the objective for a change.
It could be something changing up. Marky, very motivational kind of guy. I mean, he'll be the one saying, guys, obviously in his Scottish accent, of course. He'll be the one, you know, we're 2-0 down, we win 3 maps back-to-back, we've done it before, we'll do it, we do it in scrims all the time, why can't we do it here? But of course, on Breach uplink, unlimited score, 5 minutes on the clock, 5-second respawn. But Marky now has that real chance to, you know, take his time and say, I mean, let's put it this way. If I would have said to you at the start of this game, Infused potentially could 3-0 Splyce, that's not impossible. So all they have to do is win three games back-to-back. It's not impossible, but looking at Splyce right now, they just look like they're so focused, they're so set up. I just don't see the comeback happening. It's really sad to say, but
no, not at all.
Splyce looking very good.
VMP, Man of War. We did just catch a glimpse from Josh. He's still picking up the AR. Josh, of course, you know, becoming this new AR demon, and we'll be seeing what he can do with his long barrel ELO and stock on that one. Nothing, just land the tag, but already Splyce have seized control. Infused have seized control. The color of the X-ray confused me there. And instead, we're going to be seeing Marky B then make a little escape, a dart into Palace just for a second before being taken down.
Yeah, Vortex trying to pick up the second. There was no one there. Needs to calm down a little bit. He's 2-0 though, starting off very well. Drone is in Palace. Let's see what's going on with P, because he's the one with the drone. Does get taken down.
Yeah, the drone loose, but not going to be reset just yet. Instead, Zero is going to be waiting for this one. Does get tagged up and releases it as he's going to try and trade this one out, but no. Vortex laughs that one off, and Marky B finds him as well. It's just going to be kind of a back and forth. It's quite funny to see just how tit for tat it is currently within Palace. That drone still not reset. They are quite literally just battling around Palace, trying to be, you know, the crowned king. Marky B at this point in time, though, is going to scoop that one up and actually make a little bit more of a successful run. As if you get over towards AC, oh no, not going to happen. Vortex caused enough damage to force him off. He was not willing to commit towards AC, and it looks like Urban is doing exactly the same thing on the other side of things. 5 seconds respawns, you have to remember that. So, you know, I mean, Splyce, 15 seconds of just no one on the their side of the map.
Yeah, Urban's actually on a 6-kill streak. He's 7-on-1 at the moment. If he can play for these score streaks, he needs 2 kills under his belt. He could be on for the Lightning and Hellstorm. He's actually got the Wraith available, so that's a big shout, but, you know, it's a long way away yet.
Yeah, but I think he's, you know,
oh, I've missed
he could very well get to the point where it does become a problem. So far, though, Splyce did go for the 1 point. We were so distracted by that streak. I mean, still sitting on 6, and we'll kind of keep a keen eye on Urban and how much further he does advance. But so far, Josh is making a run. How Hawkey's there to keep him safe, and this could very well be 2 points. I think he's got the cover to go for it. He does! And he looks like he'll be surviving just for a second before picking that one up. Zero does get revenge, but it's all too late. And this looks like Vortex tries to catch another one. No, not going to happen. PT shuts him down despite the use of active camo. And with 3 minutes on the clock, Splyce have already taken a big leap into the lead. Yeah,
really big statement here for Hawkey. Josh, Bance and Vortex, the team that is behind the Splyce roster, one which I'm sure you'll get very familiar with. The drone hasn't been picked up though. Hawkey just roaming free as Bance takes the drone.
Oh, and there's a player to his right, and he looks like Hawkey needs to kind of clear the way. Doesn't look like he's going to succeed, though, because PT got that frag, and PT's one frag is going to make all the difference. Hang on a second. How has he evaded him? He could very well get away with this one. Bance, gorgeous movement. He picks up a 1-pointer, gets away straight out of dodge, despite an enemy being right on next to him. And that, my friends, is actually going to be kind of a stain on who was that? Whose record was that?
I honestly, I almost missed it myself. I was just surprised Bance didn't go for the 2-point play. Smart to do so, but Bance and Josh, these two players are players which have really, really surprised me coming into this series. They're both, you know, kind of worked with this assault rifle, and it's just working so, so well. Vortex, he could make this 6 points if he can do. He's going to go for the 1-point play. He's in, and the heat wave comes out. Does get shut down. Infused, something is wrong. Something needs to change. I mean, this could get even worse. Bance has got the drone again. Machine, what is happening?
This is spiraling out of control. This is going to be 2. Hawkey goes on the defense, and it's enough. Yes, PT gets the frags, but not the one that counts as Bance trades it out. He's still breathing. He's got his scythe, and they have 7. This could be a 3-0. It truly is underdog day that Splyce truly are looking venomous in this game. 1 minute 30 in just the first half, and they could be going for the drone again. Look at the frags coming in from Bance. He's on a tear. 4 for him. Pulls out the scythe. He's looking for more.
Yeah, he's just going to dominate this top right greenhouse area, and he's just going to enable this 1 or 2-point play. Oh, Zero with that. Oh, that's an important play from Zero. Does get the 1-pointer, but now Infused have kind of got a few frags back to back. Can they get back in this game? Oh, sneaky play from Josh.
I don't know how intentional that was.
No, I don't.
But I'll take it, and then we're going to be seeing what PT can do in response. Him and Zero do seem to be the ones at the top of the scoreboard, and indeed, the frags do not lie. 10 for Zero, not so much for PT, though, as the Annihilator will be available. 50 seconds, and we're going to be seeing Josh try and reset that drone. He's got away with it as well. Great stuff, as it's back to middle, and all of that legwork done by Infused is dashed in an instant.
Yeah, interception by Josh. I mean, that was so, so key. I mean, Infused just need a bit of confidence. They need a 1-point, a 2-point, anything, just to let them know that they can still get back in this. But at the moment, Splyce is shutting them down every single time. Left, right, and center. Bance on your screen, 11 and 7. It just seems such a team effort. No one's even standing out for Splyce.
Yeah, and that's what's so impressive. I mean, the top and bottom fragger, there's 2 frags separating them. Yeah. That, my friends, is a true team effort if ever I saw one. And you are going to be seeing 3 runs from Bance so far. He's been very influential with the drone. This time it's Josh's turn to shine, though. He's going for the 2-pointer. You don't get that high. In fact, no, changes his mind. He realizes despite his teammates being there, he's not interested and instead just takes a quick 9 points for his team. 5 then on the scoreboard. Excuse me, 5 seconds left on this one, getting a little disorientated as they are just all falling to their death. It's a little confusing. Ignoring that at the end of it, no time to beat. Instead, though, they have to beat 9 on the second half.
Yeah, and for me, did we see Infused? Yeah, we saw Infused once getting the enemy base of Splyce. That was it.
Bye.
As Hawkey falls to his death there. But it just seems to be going one way. Splyce, 9 and 0. I can't believe what I'm watching right now, but I've got to say, Splyce have gone away, they've trained hard, they've got these new players in, and now they're making a fight, a contention for this top. PT on your screen, though, trying to change things. Bance again, double kill. Zero, picking up 1. Hawkey goes down. Zero does see him. He's gonna be... Oh, is he gonna take him down? Bance, say goodnight. But it's gonna be enough. Is it gonna be enough to get him back in the game? Still 9-0.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see if Zero can be the one to influence that 0 scoreline. We'll see. He's got running around with the Annihilator, but frags mean so little. It is about that drone movement, and so far, Urban, he's actually picking up melees. There's no one to cover him. He had Heat Wave available. I think he realized that it just wouldn't have been enough. At this point, PT is trying to line him up in towards Flowers, but Vortex is there again. Vortex is always there. Vortex just seems to be at the right place at the right time. Josh finds another one, and Splyce truly are playing inspirational Call of Duty at this point in time. It's 4 minutes then, still on the clock, and we are going to be seeing active camo available. It could be time for Vortex to be the one making the run.
Yeah, Vortex, you touched on it before, he's doing such good work there. 16 and 13, but Bance 18 and 11. Hawkey, man at the moment, 17 and 14. He's got 2 plays to his name as well. Oh, he's gonna take him down. Every time, I'm so confident in Splyce and their gunfights. He's been the bodyguard.
That wasn't far off either.
He's got the active camo. No, active camo's run out. Gonna go for the 1 point, extends it to 10. I don't know where that came from almost.
But, I mean, I want to know what Zero is doing. He actually appeared next to Zero, must have just been out of his field of view.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be 10.
But really, I think that this is almost...
Are you going to say the embarrassing
I'm going to say embarrassing for Infused to be 10-0 down against you know, I don't want to take anything away from Splyce. Oh, they've just picked up 2. My mistake. 2 focused on Splyce there.
Because Vortex is just tearing them up. It's great to see the VMP being so effective. I mean, it is just quite literally just one step, one very small peg beneath the Vesper when in the right hands. And on the other side of the spectrum, we do see the Man of War in use. Zero's going to be trying to change this up again. Here on the side swap, you can see he's considering that kind of risky war run. He's going to change his mind, though. He realizes he doesn't quite have the thruster available. Comes back over the roof. This is a great run from Zero. If he makes this 2 points, I'm going to be very impressed. But no, changes his mind. He could very easily have gotten away with that one, I think, but instead plays it safe. But now isn't the time to play safe. 2.5 minutes, you need to be going for those 2 pointers.
I was going to say that when you said it's not the time to play safe. You need to go all out. You need to get these 2 pointers, because basically that 1 point play right there, what he's done, he still needs, you know, so much more. And when you've got the likes of Hawkeye going plays like this, he's gonna make another 1 point. And no, he's not. 2 minutes 20 on the clock though. Who is gonna be the one with that drone? That's Urban, and he's got it reset.
And the reason he's reset it is, of course, it means that his teammates can push from all angles. You don't have to be making the run all on one side of the map. Zero, though, comes straight on through to middle. He's going to go for the retrieve, but no, Hawkeye not interested, as he takes him down for his 21st frag. Still so inseparable on the kill sheets. You can see PT using his kinetic armor to great effect. Actually, didn't quite manage to connect that kill. Instead, it was Josh who dives to his death. That's his 22nd there. As I'm starting to feel a little concerned for Infused. Times become a bit of a factor here. And Splyce could very well have 3-0'd Infused here on Underdog Day.
I think it's the case. I think it's very early to call with only 100 seconds left. 1 minute 30 on the clock. Urban, you know, for me, they're trading kills right now. You know, it's all even, but Splyce took such a lead at the start. It's just too much to come back from. Yeah. I really do believe so. PE doing everything he can.
You have to worry. You really have to worry for Infused now. I mean, yeah, 120 on the clock. Oh, excuse me, 1 minute 20. As they've got to do absolutely everything, and I'm starting to worry, because especially if they start resetting the drone, if they start playing kind of some cheesy Call of Duty, we could be seeing Splyce just pick up the drone, go for a run, reset it. Pick up the drone, go for a run, reset it. That's the position Splyce are in, and now it's in the hands of Vortex. He may very well just do that. In fact, no, I think he's still considering a run. No, he could be heading towards Palace. Palace is the domain for playing for the reset. As especially if you're rocking Afterburner, you can do exactly this. This is what we were asking for. And
he's just taking his time. He's almost biding his time a little bit more for his team.
Nice
and
movement.
Just going to go very, very slow. Drone's going to be reset. 40 seconds left on the clock. Let's flick on board with someone more in the action. But now, I'm almost going to call it with 30 seconds left to go. The one thing this does mean...
Hawkeye, windy. It's getting a bit windy.
Close the window. It's getting a bit windy there, but for me, what I was going to touch on, Epsilon, the only team undefeated. Infused now have given them that kind of rain, if you like.
Heat wave pops as Josh gets pushed from behind. He's going to retrieve that drone and get it straight out of dodge. He's not interested in that one as long as he can. The longest 4 point for that one. Has he got it stuck?
I think he's got it stuck. I just had this in my mind where he's going to throw it over the building, run through, jump out, and pick it up again. Like a proper like American-style football play.
I want to see where that drone is.
It's on top of Palace, yeah.
So how do you get that back?
It resets after, say, 15 seconds.
15,
yeah.
Okay. Oh, man.
Or even closer, you know, 10-5.
Can you believe it? Splyce, your victors. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 3-0. This day could not get any more insane. We approached this one with the kind of our clocks and everything set for this one. We said, you know, this is going to be the game to watch. Potentially, we could see a full 5 maps. But Infused just seemed to not turn up. They were not at the sticks. And Splyce, 3-0, picking up the win. Already, LDLC have beaten Vitality, and I can't wait to do the recap of this. Like, actually sit there and go, hey guys, hey North America, let's tell you about what happened today, because it's going to be truly insane.
And just looking at those standings now across the board, only Epsilon rise to their first league spot, 3-0. Everyone else has suffered a defeat. Infused still second, however, 2-1. But looking at the bottom there, 0-3 for TCM. Is Pulse going to join them, or are they going to take a win over Millennium on Underdog Day?
Yeah, I feel like that it couldn't summarize it any better.
If they do, I know, nah, you wouldn't be eating your hacks of Epsilon. I'd be so excited. But for me, Pulse Millennium, that is literally David and Goliath. I know I see them sat mid-table at 6 right now, but I still firmly believe Millennium, you know, the God Squad,
you want to put them
like.
in that top 2?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I want to put them in the top 2, but who do I put them with in the top 2?
That's
do I put them with Epsilon? Do I put them with Infused after that performance?
Do we put them with Splyce?
Oh,
Hang on a sec. Excel turned up? What's going on? This is the beauty of European Call of Duty right now. We have already started to see some real intriguing results. Excel lost to Giants, of course. You have to remember that one when you're putting them towards the top 4. Epsilon, the only non-surprise, really, picking up TCM, and it was no close affair there. Splyce versus Infused, and Splyce pick up the win. I'm excited. My heart's beating a little quicker, and this day has got a lot better. Incredible stuff then here, just for the first play day of our second week of the World League, and already everything you knew, like if you had like kind of a Call of Duty expectations, in fact, like if this was it, this was your expectations for Call of Duty, this looks very important, I'm not going to rip it, I was about to.
I was thinking you were going to, I was thinking please don't rip that because I really need it.
Yeah, this looks really important, I'm not going to rip that.
I was going to stop you anyway. If you were going like this, I was snatching that away from you. I was like, no. However,
you know what I was
throw it away.
Yeah.
Because you make these predictions, you think, you know, I think Infused will beat Splyce. I think Vitality will take on
Vitality
LDLC.
3-0 LDLC.
Yeah. Best French team.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Epsilon, you know, they're the
I'd
only
say,
ones
like,
to...
Yeah, I mean, 3-1. Probably about that one, so that's predictable. But then you come into this game and you just think, right, Infused on a tear, looking great, undefeated so far in the World League. It's not going to be Splyce that takes it away from you. You look at your Epsilons, your Millenniums. Those are the games you can imagine it Infused maybe conceding. But no, Splyce are the ones to take that away. And that actually puts Infused in a pretty scary position now because they still have to play the Epsilon, the XL, the Millennium. These games still have to come. And that could be those losses just starting to get out of hand. That was a win they needed to pick up.
Yeah, and for me now, I kind of thought after week 2, week 3, you're going to see these kind of teams going ahead, these teams falling behind. Now you're just seeing like everyone just picking up a few wins, a few losses. There's no one kind of outstanding anyone else. The only one I would say is Epsilon. Yeah, what was the play of the series? Tweet us with the hashtag CWLPS4 at COD World League, of course, down there somewhere. This way, this way.
I feel like I smashed that there.
You did.
Yeah, no.
You took it. I spoke.
You smashed it.
You
Good teamwork.
No, you smashed it.
We're good at this. Either way, we're going to be hopefully jumping into our final game shortly. But while we do take a quick break to just kind of work out what on earth just happened here in the Call of Duty World League, we're going to take 5. You guys hit us up with the hashtag CWLPS4. And for now, stay frosty.